Hey everybody, my name is Sharon Quinn and I'm also known as the original runway diva, and you are watching Model Behavior. Class is officially in session. Today my guest lecturer is a child of God, a visionary and artist, a fashion enthusiast, a businessman, and a citizen of the globe. Most folks know him as the brand manager of the wildly popular Monif C clothing line. Welcome, BrandonBlueCoates, to Model Behavior.
Thank you, Sharon. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for being here. It's been a long journey trying to get you here too.
Yes,
I'm glad.
has.
Now you are I said brand manager, but you just got a new title. So
yes, new development. I am the head designer now for Monif C plus sizes.
Okay, well let's stay here. Let's talk about that. What does it take to make it to head designer?
A lot of preparation, a lot of trial and error. You know, my background, although it's in fashion, it's not typically design.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't something something I was good at, but it wasn't something that I really pushed myself in. But you know, one of the things that I've experienced in my journey with Monif is that she's pushed me past my levels of typical experience and things that my comfort zone. Mm-hmm. So she's allowed me to use my voice to help build this brand of hers, because for a long time, you know, I played the background, I did what I was supposed to do, but she saw my talent. She saw that you have an eye. You're not just the brand manager. Like, you got this design thing down packed. And, you know, it was supposed to be a temporary thing. Well, let's just try this design thing out, see how it goes. And it's blossomed and it's taken off from there. And it's something that I'm really passionate about now.
Now how long have you been with Monif?
I've been with Monif for 8.5 years.
And how did that connection spark? How did you guys meet each other?
I started as an intern back in 2006, and it's funny, I saw her on Rip the Runway the first year she did it, mm-hmm. and I've always had an affinity for plus size clothing, and there weren't that many designers that I thought were doing a great job. So when I saw her clothing line, I was like, I've got to get myself aligned with her. So I started out working with her in her New York showroom as an intern, lugging bags and carrying bolts of fabric and doing any and everything that was needed. And just over the years, you know, my role there has progressed. You know, I'm one of her first employees.
I remember. I remember you had a head full of hair when I met you too.
Yes, a long time ago.
Now, as brand manager, what did you do? What were you responsible for before you became head designer?
The look and feel of everything that Monif C is. Making sure that our packaging, our customer service, every aspect of the brand had to speak the same language. So I basically had my hand on every aspect of the business, making sure that everything was always in sync.
Now, you just said making sure that everything spoke the same language. What does that mean exactly?
For instance, you know, we are known as the contemporary fashion-forward plus-size brand. So our customer service has to speak the same language, the language that they use when they're speaking to the customer, the imagery that goes up on our website. You know, for a very long time I ran our photo shoots, you know, making sure that everything was brand appropriate, making sure that the photographers knew our vision, what we wanted. Mm-hmm. You know, any stylist that we would bring on knew what we wanted. Because, you know, with this brand is very specific. You know, our customer is very targeted. So we had to make sure that everything that we do, everything that we touch, is all in line and all in sync. Nothing's out of place. Our packaging, you know, we upgraded our packaging over the years, and our tagging, our logo, everything that touches the brand mm-hmm. speaks the same language. You can look at something and say that's quintessentially Monif C.
And who is the Monif C girl?
She is fashion forward. She is well-traveled. She's sexy. She's confident. She's curvaceous. She loves her body. She wants what she's flipping through the magazines and seeing. You know, so every season we push ourselves to innovate. We're innovators. Mm-hmm. We're going to give you the trend that you're not going to see in the plus size market, and that's how we started. We're trailblazers. Mm-hmm. You know, the first two-piece plus size bikini. You know, we were on that trend. The whole crop trend that came in for plus sizes. We were right on target with it, because we understand that our customer wants to look just as well as her skinny counterparts. Mm-hmm. You know, she wants to feel as sexy and fashion forward and just amazing as everybody else. There's no reason why she can't. So, you know, our garments are engineered. You know, we're not just taking a size 8 and grading it up into plus sizes. Our garments are fit for the body. So it's going to be a bikini, but it's going to be a bikini that works for your frame.
Okay, that's good points. Now you graduated from the Laboratory Institute of Merchandising. Is what you're doing now? Is that sort of like merchandising? Is it?
Yeah,
it is.
It is. You know, I've been able to use a lot of my merchandising experience in the business. You know, just in terms of buying and being able to cost garments and deal with manufacturers and stuff. So yeah, absolutely, it's very much in line with what I've done.
Now, how did you have the? Well, not even how did you have. Where did you get the knowledge to know how to style clothing? Is that something that came naturally to you?
It's innate.
Or
it's innate. I've grown up around beautiful, confident, plus size women all my life, and my mom used to let me dress her for different events, and my aunts and my cousins, everybody would always look to me for style advice, always. And then I met Tamara Goldenella back in 2004, and she saw something in me that she was like, "There's something about you that I really like," and she's a plus size woman, concert producer in New York City. She needed to be styled for different events. So the first time I styled her she was going to, I believe it was BET Rip the Runways after party, she fell in love with me since then. She was like, every time I do any kind of media appearance, I need you there because you're going to make sure that I look amazing.
Now, how would someone know what is the BrandonBlueCoates? Well, how would they know that you had your hand in it? Do you have a particular sort of look that you gravitate to, or?
My look is at times a bit avant-garde. I've always said, particularly in my relationship with Monif is the pretty, I'm the edge. So I'm gonna take what you typically think it should be, and I'm gonna turn it on its ear. I'm gonna take that blue shoe and I'm gonna put it with that orange dress. I'm gonna,
yes!
I'm gonna use an accessory that was typically not day wear, but I'm gonna make it day. I'm gonna add sequin during the day. I'm gonna give you a flat shoe at night. I'm gonna do the opposite of what you think I'm gonna do.
Okay, all right. Now in 2004, you got the opportunity to go to the Oxbridge academic program in the UK, and you fell in love with fashion. How did you get involved with that program?
Well, back then, that's when I was doing my music thing.
Right. Okay.
Most people don't know that about me. Before I got into fashion, my background was actually drama and theater. I'm classically trained vocally, and
get out of here.
Yes.
Really? Mm-hmm. Okay. I would ask you to throw something out there, but I ain't gonna put you on the spot like that.
It's been a while. I've been doing this fashion thing for a while, but I went to London. I got accepted into it was a summer program that I did there for young and gifted students in drama and theater and arts and music. And while I was there, just immersed in the culture and seeing how people were dressed, because at this point, this is my first time overseas by myself. I'm in a program of 300 kids. I'm one of 4 black kids in the program. And it just opened my eyes to a whole nother world that I hadn't seen before. And of course, I've always had the fashion bug within me. But, being able to walk on High Street and walking past all the department stores, going into Harrods, and I'm looking around like, wow, like, this is amazing. Like, there's something here. Like, I literally feel like I got bitten by a bug at that point. And I came back to New York. I continued to still pursue music, but there's a shift happening. This whole fashion thing really started to pique my interest. So it's like, before I did anything else, I went to school for it. I graduated, I got my degree, and it's been off to the races since then, working in fashion now 10 years later.
Now, what is the ultimate goal for you? What is it that you see at the end of the road for your career?
For me, it's just to build a brand. I want to be a connector. I want to be able to be the go-to person for everything in terms of fashion and music production, and just being the go-to person, because I want people to know that, hey, I know this person here, let me connect you with this person, because I know that they're going to give you a great job. Photo shoots, I'm really great with those. Continuing to build myself in design, because I really love.
Oh, so you're designing?
I'm designing.
Are you designing? See, I'm looking at what you got on. Are you designing men's?
That's coming. That's
Okay,
coming.
all
Definitely,
right.
that's definitely in the works. But for right now, I'm definitely working with Monif on design
So
for
you're gonna
Monif
do
C.
like a Brandon
There, yes,
by Monif C sort of thing?
that wouldn't that be great? Because
Whoa.
again, I was also a bigger guy, so I understand what is the struggle it is to be able to find clothes that fit me. And I want the same fashion forward things. I want the same things that I can flip through magazines and see. So just like plus size women have had a hard time, there's also a lot of guys that have had the same hard time. So my line would definitely be geared towards the big and tall man.
I'm glad that you brought that up because it seems so simple to me that you make the clothes, you meet the demand. Why do you think it is that people have such a hard time meeting the demands of the plus size woman and man?
I think it's people are afraid. They're afraid of what it means to be plus size. They're afraid of what it means to be full figured. Everybody's trying to lose weight or to be skinny to fit some mold that somebody somewhere along the lines told them that you have to fit into this mold. So no, I'm not going to cater to you because you're plus size. No, I want you to be skinny. So I'm going to continue to make skinny clothes for you to want to be skinny to fit in these clothes. And having this affinity for plus sizes and having a heart for plus size women and our big and tall men, that's my calling. That's my true passion. That's what wakes me up every day. It makes me excited because I want you to feel just as empowered, just as sexy and fulfilled because you're just as special. There's nothing wrong with you. Granted, it takes more work to get it done, and a lot of people are afraid of the work that it takes.
But how much work could we possibly be talking?
It is definitely more work because if you're going to make a garment engineered for a full-figured person, you want it to flatter. You want it to accentuate all the best attributes of you. You don't want a tent.
Right.
That would be easy.
Right.
But if you want a sexy engineered garment that's going to fit your shoulders, fit your bust, fit your waist, it takes more time and energy, and there's some companies that are just not willing to do it.
But I'm thinking that the payoff would have to, if you do it right,
If you do it right.
the payoff would be great because you're going to sell the garments. But if you don't do it right, then you got to go back to the drawing board because we don't
Exactly.
buy stuff we don't like.
Exactly, and that's why Monif C has been so successful. We have the plus size woman's voice in our heads at every given time. Everything that we make is engineered for her.
And do you take the customer feedback?
Absolutely. Our customer is that is my biggest source of inspiration in terms of design. She tells me what she wants every season, and I do my best to meet her demands.
And where do you think Monif, who I can't get on this show because she's so busy, where do you think that she gets her inspiration from? I know that she started off designing because there was no one that was designing for a woman with her curves.
Right.
Where does she get her inspiration to just continuously come up with different things?
Like I said before, and you said it in our intro, we're citizens of the globe. We travel a lot for different ventures and different things that we're doing. So we're constantly immersed in culture. Culture for us is big. We pull inspiration from people, from places, from things that we see. And so she does that as well a lot. She spends a lot of time in Barbados because it's one of her places that she goes to all the time. That's her home, her second home. And her love of color and shape.
Yes, that's what I will say that about her line. She is not afraid of color.
Never has been. And that is her voice. She's always loved to be brash and colorful and vibrant and sexy. So every season she is constantly looking to see, how can I take what I already know, what we have already achieved, and just turn it up every season. Every season we push ourselves to do something that we haven't done before.
Okay. Now there's a lot of change. There's a lot of change happening in the air for the plus size industry.
Which is really
some of it is
exciting.
good. Not all of it is good. Some of it is good. But where would you like to see the industry as a whole and let's say the next 5 years?
I would love to see the industry become more frontal, more mainstream in a lot of ways. you know, there shouldn't just be, I mean, Full Figure Fashion Week is an amazing platform. And it's a platform that I've been a part of that I really, really love. But I would love to see us, you know, showing alongside any other designer and being just as well organized, just as strong, just as powerful with our voice. You know, I would love to see, you know, our brands in stores, high-end stores, all types of stores that are going to not put us in the back of the store, off in the corner.
Or upstairs on the third floor. Yeah.
Right. In the forefront. Like plus sizes, I would love it to not necessarily be just exclusive. It's not just something that's off to the side. I would love to see it more mainstream, mixed alongside with everything else.
Now that's what you like to see. What do you think the reality of that is? There's still such a stigma, even in 2015, that word fat is, I mean, there are people that are really genuinely afraid of that.
Absolutely. And I think that what it's just going to continue to do is, you know, plus size brands like Monif C and people like yourself just continuing to use your voice to say, hey, this is what I want. This is who I am. So if you're not going to do it, I'm going to do it for myself.
Okay. That's how I live. I can't figure out why, even now, and I've been doing this since the 80s, there's still the same people who got their foot on the door that just won't, you got to be skinny. Well, we're not all meant to be skinny.
Absolutely.
Clearly.
And I feel like if we continue to use our voice, we continue to break down barriers, to innovate, to put ourselves in the forefront, I believe that the industry will just continue to take more notice of us. You know, if you want to be taken seriously, you got to show them that you're serious. Show them with your buying dollars. Show them with your creativity. Show them with everything that you have, because that's what's really going to make it pop. That's what's going to make people stand up and take notice and say, oh, that's dope. You know, I get that a lot with our collections. I've got, you know, some of my skinny friends that say, oh, can I get that in my size? Like, I'm mad that you don't make that in my size because I love what you do. And for me, that's a great, you know, a little pat on the back, because it's important for me to know that what I'm doing is, yes, I'm designing garments for plus size women, but they're still sexy, they're still fashion forward, they're still going to give you everything that you want in a garment.
Oh, God, I hate when this happens to me. I just lost my train of damn thought. Empire. You watch that, right?
Love.
Please tell me you watch Empire.
I love Empire.
All right, let's talk about it. So, how come y'all not dressing Gabby Sidibe? I'm asking this to everybody that has anything to do with plus size fashion. What is the issue?
I honestly don't know for sure. I mean, we send garments all the time. They pull from us for different things. I'm just not quite sure. I honestly don't know. I'm not sure what's going on.
She could
there.
pull that off on that show. Although the vibrant, they just don't have her. Okay, all right, yeah, all right. I just thought I would throw that out there.
We do send. We're open. We're open to it. We do send stuff. Absolutely.
Because didn't you dress her for, wasn't it the ebony cover?
The ebony cover.
Yeah, she looked good on there too. Her thing is hit or miss, and I haven't figured out why. It's like, I know all these plus size designers. She's got to know who they are. How come her people aren't reaching out?
They reach out to us for stuff all the time. You know, we send. You know, like I said, we send stuff all the time.
And she just doesn't wear it?
I guess it just doesn't make the cut somehow, some way. I'm not sure, but you know, we do send stuff.
Wow. Oh, all right. All right, Brandon. So let's go talk about the blue line for Monif C. I'm making that up. I don't know what you're gonna name your line, but what can you give us a preview of what to expect?
Expect the essence of me. You know, I get a lot of people that love the way I dress. You know, they stalk my page. They want to know, in addition to what I do for a living, they want to know who I am and what I'm wearing and who I'm wearing. And I'm using that as also a platform for myself. You know, even for this is a jacket that I'm wearing today. You know, this is a straight size jacket, of course. And I would love
to have this in a larger size.
Absolutely.
It is a nice jacket.
Thank you.
Let's talk about style. How does one, though it's most people who are stylists, it's something innate, it's something they just are born with. But what do you do if you're not born with it and you're trying to put yourself together and be fashion forward?
The most important part of style is having your voice heard in your look. That's really, really important.
Say that again.
It's really important for your voice to be heard in your style.
I like that. Okay.
Who you are, the nature of who you are as a person should be in your style. You know, what happens is a lot of people, they want to copy and emulate things that they've seen. That's great. It's take inspiration from different things, but who you are at the core of who you're being is who you should dress yourself. If you're a girl that you don't love to wear heels, get yourself some cute flats. If you're a girl that prefers a longer skirt as opposed to a shorter skirt, get yourself a dope A-line skirt. It really depends on what you want, how you want to dress, how you want to feel, what makes you comfortable. Because when you're comfortable in your skin and you feel good about yourself, that's the time that you're going to shine. That's the time that you're going to feel your best. You're going to wow
There
them.
it is. There it is.
Because we can put on stuff and we can look like whatever we want to look like, but have you ever seen somebody that just looks uncomfortable?
Absolutely.
Like that's clearly
So,
not what you. That's not
why
you.
you wear that if you tugging and pulling on it and you're moving around, you clearly not comfortable. And what you put that on for?
Trying to look cute, but it's all good. But
trying to look like what you see in the magazine.
But your voice is extremely important in style, because your style is you.
And there's no right way to do it.
There's no right or wrong. No. I mean, you want to flatter your body. You want to do things that are going to accentuate your positive. So understanding your body is a great thing. Knowing your shape, knowing how you're built, and the things that you want to accentuate. Some women love their butts. Some women love their hips. You know, it really just depends. Some people love their legs. They love their arms. Whatever you feel most confident about, that's what you play up.
Okay, because I see a lot of people getting that wrong. The crop top thing, I got a little muffin top, so that's not gonna be for me.
There's ways to do it though.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, because I tried it. It don't look good on me. I need to cover that up. But I see people who have, I think they have potential to have really great style, but they don't know maybe how to dress their bodies.
And that's the most important part, is knowing your body, knowing how to dress your body, knowing what works for you, knowing what colors look great on you, what colors don't look good on you.
And how do you figure that out?
Based on your complexion, you know, if you've got red tones in your complexion, things that have blue in it are going to pop off of you. If you're more of yellow tones, you want to do things that are opposite. So if you're yellow tone, you know, there's this misconception that if you're yellow tone, you can't wear yellow. It's all about the shade of the color. Because, of course, on the color scale, there's so many different ways you can go with it. A yellow can have more red in it. It can have more blue in it. It doesn't matter. But what's important is the color that you choose for your complexion, for what you, like for instance, the color that you're wearing right now, it complements your complexion lovely. You know, you could go more orange with it if you want. You could go more blue with it, but you know, it's highlighting your complexion. It's making you come alive.
The undertone thing in the skin gets really complicated.
It can be. It's a little tricky, but I mean, at the end of the day, when you put something on and you look in the mirror and you like the way you look, you have a glow about you. It doesn't make you feel off, or you don't look off. That's the color for you. It's you know, people want to make it, you know, more of a science than it really is. If you put it on and you feel great in your skin and you look good, when you look in the mirror, you're happy with what you see. That's all that matters.
No, that's true. Now, what about the singing piece, which you sort of snuck in there? Are you not going to ever go back to that? I mean, if you're classically trained and you're not going to use that?
I feel like I'll get back there at some point. This fashion thing is definitely taking on a whole nother life of its own that I didn't even anticipate.
Really?
It did. 10 years ago, if you asked me if I'd be doing this, I would have said no.
No. Well, what do you think you would have been doing 10 years?
Recording.
Okay.
I would have been doing Broadway. I would have been doing a whole lot of other things.
So you've done the musical theater thing. You know what? But you You a sneaky little something.
Listen, you know, but I really enjoyed this fashion thing. But like I said, it's taking on legs, and I'm kind of running with it at this point. But there are times I'm like, yeah, I wish I could get back to it, or trying to figure out ways to get back to it.
That's hard.
That's
and it's
the hard part.
expensive too.
Very.
It's expensive to have a music career. That's why I don't have one anymore. Yeah. Now you also said that you're very hands-on with the Monif C brand.
Absolutely.
You're at the shoots. Sometimes you help select the models. What does it take to be a Monif C model? Because I know they want to know.
Of course, I know. That's the $1 million
I'm sure
question.
you get that all day long.
All day, every day. You know, you have to have a certain je ne sais quoi about you. You know, you have to not only just be a pretty girl, with you know, a full-figure, pretty-faced girl. That's not it for me. I need girls that are educated, that have studied, that know periods in time, that can embody different characters. You know, you're an actor.
You have to be able to transform.
You have to be able to transform, and not just what we put on you to transform you, but what you're able to exude. You know, if I say I need you to look like a high fashion model or a woman that lives on Fifth Avenue, I need you to be able to embody that and to bring that forward.
Yeah, that's some acting skills, and this is why I recommend taking acting lessons. People don't listen, but yeah, that's a big part of it.
It's a big part of it, you know, and just also studying, knowing this business, knowing your history, knowing your time periods. If I tell you that I'm going for a 50s look, 50s housewife, I need you to kind of have an idea what that is. Or if I say my inspiration is Lady Sings the Blues, I need you to know what that is. I need you, if I say, you know, Lena Horne was our inspiration for this holiday collection, I need you to have an idea of who she was and be able to embody that on set.
Okay. All right, everybody. Thank you, Brandon. You hear the music. You know we are almost out of time. I'd like to thank my guest, BrandonBlueCoates, for coming and sharing his industry knowledge with us today. Now, before I go, I'd like to leave you with a few thoughts. As always surround yourself with positive people and positive things. Remember that you can't change the game until you first learn the game, and do what you love and love what you do. And lastly, be who you are, but be who you are tastefully. Always have a little class about yourself. And don't forget to like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Pinterest. Thanks for watching Model Behavior, and I'll see y'all next week. Class is officially dismissed. Bye, y'all. Thank you so much.